Welcome to Nugget 263 with Steve and Dana Groman. In our last Nugget, we talked about some U-pick farms, and I mentioned California and how so many wonderful fruits and vegetables, nuts, and seafood comes from that state. But I wanted to show you some important historical information about some fruit from California specifically. One of the really neat places to go in Riverside is the California Citrus State Historical Park. We were there in the off-season, which was the middle of the summer. We had the museum in the grounds basically to ourselves. The kind countess cut up a fresh orange for us to eat as we stepped out the back door of the museum to peruse the gorgeous grounds filled with not only luscious groves of oranges, grapefruit, and lemon trees, but also unbelievable tall palm trees. The park preserves a small portion of the at one time vast acreage of citrus groves. California's citrus industry all started in 1873 with two small navel orange trees, although juicy citrus had found its place in Alta California and Mission San Gabriel to the northwest a century before the Riverside navel orange took root. The Mission oranges originated in Mexico, and the fruit was not permitted outside the Mission compounds. There was some very interesting information in this museum. It said the Silk Road once was the main thoroughfare for the exchange of goods, culture, and art between China, the Middle East, and Europe. Traveling this often dangerous 7,000-mile route, citrus reached the eastern Mediterranean 300 years before the birth of Christ. That's an interesting statement, being at a state park in California, wouldn't you say? Among the trade goods traveling west with citrus were gold, ivory, carpets, camphor, copper, amber, ornate jewelry, furs, cloth, pearls, porcelain, and incense. Mandarin oranges, along with citron and shaddock, are the oldest known citrus fruits. We walked the trails through the beautiful historic orchard. In 1542, Spanish explorers became the first Europeans to claim the land we call California. It was not until 1769, however, that the Spanish government sent missionaries and soldiers to establish and occupy a series of missions, forts, and settlements in what was then an isolated outpost. At the missions, they founded Father Junipero Serra and his Franciscan brethren planted citrus trees from Mexico and carefully guarded their sweet golden fruit. Citrus fruit and citrus seeds were not permitted outside California mission compounds for more than 60 years. And we have been to Mission San Gabriel, and when I complete the Massachusetts Saturday travel and history tips, I will be moving to the opposite coast and to California and take you to some of the most beautiful mission sites you will ever see, including San Gabriel, the Archangel Mission, the pride of the missions. The first known large-scale citrus grove outside a mission in California was planted in 1834 when Frenchman Jean-Louis Vignier purchased 35 sweet orange seedlings from Mission San Gabriel for his 104-acre Los Angeles garden. That's just all kind of neat, isn't it? San Gabriel had the first orange trees in California, the Aqua Tibia sweet orange trees, Valencia variety, now growing in this area of the gardens, are descendants from the trees that were DNA tested at 140 years old. These trees started their life in 2004 and were planted here in 2006 with the help of Toots Beer of the Citrus Clonal Protection Program at University of California at Riverside. An orange tree planted here in 1980 by the Claretons represent the Valencia Orange Grove planted here at the mission by the Franciscans with cuttings from Spain and was the first orange grove planted in all of California. Spanish fig, plum, peach, and pomegranate also flourished in those early days. When you go to the store, you'll see that the oranges from California are called Valencia. And now you know their origin. Also at this mission, they talk about olive trees, seedlings from the olive grove, which once produced oil for fueling the lamps. Moving a little farther northward in California to Tecapa is the China Date Ranch Farm. I will definitely be doing a Saturday travel and history tip on this really exceptional place. We started going there in 2010, and we try to get there every year, but it does not always happen. The vines have become dry, and the fig tree is dying. All the trees in the field, the pomegranate, the palm, and the apple, have withered, and happiness among the people has died. Joel 1:12. Kind of sounds like California these days, doesn't it? And here are some pictures of the gorgeous date palms there at the China Date Ranch. And they are famous for their date shakes. And of course, every time we go, we have to get a date shake. These original trees were planted from seeds from a mail order catalog around 1920 by Vanola Modine, the youngest daughter of Death Valley pioneer R.J. Bay, Fairbanks. About half of them were males, producing only pollen. One male produces enough pollen for a dozen of females. These females produce more than 10 different types of dates, which collectively we call China Ranch hybrids. They have these day rye dates from Iraq, a drier, chewy date, sweet and often with distinctive purple color. This variety produces a large number of clones or offshoots, which can be detached and easily rooted, resulting in an exact genetic copy of the parent tree, light-bearing 100-pound or less per season. On the first day, you will take good fruit from fruit trees, and you will take branches from palm trees, poplar trees, and willow trees by the brook. You will celebrate before the Lord your God for 7 days. Leviticus 23:40. The Graber Olive House has been canning plump tree-ripe olives since its founding by C.C. Graber in 1894. Ontario's oldest existing business is also the country's oldest operating olive packer. Their tree-ripened, nut-colored olives are popular worldwide. We walked through the old-time museum that was jam-packed with historic items from old olive crates and cans to adding machines. You can tour the historic olive packing house and the olive processing plant that is still used today. And when it's harvest time, October through December, you can see the process. This was a really fun place to visit in Southern California. And at the base of this tree, we read, "The olive trees on these grounds are pruned to allow their beautiful limbs to show and are of the Manzanillo variety. The same variety is grown on our olive ranch north of Porterville. In the groves, the branches of the olive limbs, though never allowed to touch the ground, hang like skirts for easier picking and fruit growth. And the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth." Genesis 8:11. This olive mill was used in the early days of California. Olives were placed in a large vessel and crushed by the solid granite wheels, weighing about 12,000 pounds. The crushed olives were pushed into burlap sacks that were placed over the gate. The oily juice was pressed from the sacks, leaving pulp and seeds. The olive oil was separated and further refined. The people also brought spices and olive oil. These things were used for the sweet-smelling incense, the anointing oil, and the oil for lamps. Exodus 35:28. And then a little to the northeast of there, we went to Cucamonga, and we found the mission grapes. On display are mission grapevines, the first Vitis vinifera species planted in North America by the Spanish. Introduced to California by Father Juan de Ugarte, the vine plantings followed the development of California's missions as far north as San Jose. The wine was used in religious sacraments as well as for daily meals. Due to its association with the church, the grapes were given the name Mission, and from 1697 until well into the 20th century, they dominated vineyards in California. These mission grapevine plants were obtained as cuttings from the University of California at Davis Plant Repository, and they are there along historic Route 66. At home, your wife will have many children. Like a vine full of grapes, the children around your table will be like an orchard full of olive trees. Psalm 128:3. This was just a little food for thought. If you appreciate our content, tell others and repost on your social platforms. Help us grow our channel. Thank you.